संस्थापकं वीरं कृष्णं वन्दे।
जय श्री कृष्ण। प्रपन्न पारिजाताय स्तोत्रवैत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। I humbly bow to Pujya Swami Govindev Giriji Maharaj Ji, whose selfless vision founded Geeta Pariwar. We remain forever grateful for his wisdom and leadership. On behalf of Geeta Pariwar, I, Punita Prasad, welcome all the Krishna devotees of April L3 batch here for yet another interpretation session of first chapter in English, third part by our respected senior trainer Vikas Vaidya Bhaiyaji. Prayer is the technique by which we tune ourselves to the highest perfection and thereby come to invoke in ourselves a greater perfection of both the mind and the intellect. So let's start today's session with prayer by Ashok Khedeji from Abu Dhabi. He is a retired engineer who joined Geeta Pariwar since November 2022 and presently serving as a trainer. Bhaiya, kindly start the prayer.
जय श्री कृष्ण विधि। वसुदेव सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं श्रीकृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। जय श्री कृष्ण सभी।
Thank you, Bhaiya, for this divine rendition. Let's light a lamp in our home. Let's illuminate our inner self. Drive away the darkness. Let our heart twinkle with Krishna's love. It happens when there is Geeta in every home and Geeta in every heart. Today's Deep Prajwalan is by young Janvi Parwadya ji from Morbi, Gujarat. As an export manager in a private company, joined Geeta Pariwar in July 2024. Currently studying in level 2 and giving seva in admissions department and content forwarding, and our hearty best wishes for Geeta Jigyasu exam. Didi, start Deep Prajwalan, please.
निषिद्धैरप्येभिर्लुलितमकरन्दो मधुकरैः करैरिन्दोरन्तश्छुरित इव सम्भिन्नमुकुलः विधत्तां सिद्धिन्नो नयनसुभगामस्य सदसः प्रकीर्णः पुष्पाणां हरिचरणयोरञ्जलिरयम् शरदिन्दुनिभां शुभ्रवस्त्रैरलङ्कृताम् कलहंसकृतावासां वरदां शारदां नुमः।
Thank you for the mesmerizing darshan. We are excited to announce the commencement of the 36th batch of our Geeta classes, starting from November 8th, 2024. Dive deep into the timeless wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita with classes available in 13 languages and across 21 time slots to suit your convenience. Spread this divine message to all your friends and relatives, motivate them to register and embark on a transformative journey of spiritual knowledge. Respected gathering, it's our honor to introduce Vikas Vaidya Bhaiya, a distinguished Gita scholar and IT entrepreneur. His extensive travels have endowed him with linguistic expertise in Hindi, Marathi, English, Indonesian, Malaysian, and Spanish. Bhaiya's profound knowledge of Gita and Vishnu Sahasranam guides numerous Gita Vratis towards further exams. Today, Let us benefit from his erudite interpretation of the Gita's ancient wisdom, contemplative depths, and scientific significance. Vikas Vaidya Bhaiya ji.
जय श्री
Yes.
कृष्ण। वसुदेव देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। पूज्य स्वामी जी के चरण कमलों में कोटि कोटि नमन। We are studying Adhyaya first. Last time we covered up to slok number 25. In 25th sloka, we read भीष्मद्रोणः प्रमुखतः सर्वैषां च महीक्षिताम् उवाच पार्थ पश्यैतान् समवेतान् कुरूनिति. So there Lord Krishna had told Arjuna to look at all the Kuru, members of Kuru dynasty, who have all Samavetan, who have all assembled here with a wish to fight the war. What happens after that? Sanjay explains, Tatra pashyasthitan partha pitrunatha pitamahan acharyan matulan bhartrun putran pautran sakhims tatha. We'll take 27 also along with it. Shvashuran surdashchaiva senayorubhayorapi tan samikshasa kaunteyas sarvan bandhunavasthitan. And then krupaya parya vishto vishidanidam abravit. This will make the total thing clear. So let us discuss what is being said here. Tatra pashyasidan partha pitrunata pitamahan acharyan matulan bhartun putran pautran sakim sada shasharan surdushchaiva sena yoru bhayorapi. When Lord Krishna told Arjuna to have a look, Pashya, at Kurus who have assembled here on the battlefield, Arjuna saw the members of his family assembled on both the sides, on the sides of Kauravas as well as on the side of Pandavas. He saw his father's brother, his name was Bhurishrava, who was just like his father. He saw his granduncles, Pitama, Bhishma, Somadatta, then the preceptors, Dronacharya, Krupacharya, then maternal uncles such as Purijit, Kunti Bhoj, Shalya, Shakuni, etc., etc. Then brothers and cousins, Bhima, cousins Duryodhana, and sons such as his own son Abhimanyu, Ghatotkacha, Lakshmana, Lakshmana was Duryodhana's son, and grandsons such as sons of Lakshmana, and then friends of Duryodhana, Ashwathama, etc., etc. And then he also saw fathers-in-law such as Drupad, father of Draupadi, Shaibya, and also well-wishers such as Satyaki, Krutavarma, etc. After that, Tan samikshasa kaunte yas sarvan bandhunavasthitan krupaya pareya avishto vishidannidam abravit. After seeing all this, members of family on the both armies, what happens? Seeing all those relations present there and standing at their appointed places, he was filled with extreme compassion and uttered these following words in sadness. Krupaya. Krupaya is sadness. Krupaya, not Hindi Krupaya, please, but Krupaya is sadness. Surrounded by Krupaya. Krupaya, fear, surrounded by fear, sadness. Vishidannidam abravit. He said these words. Which words he said? Tan samikshasa kaunteya sarvan bandhuna vastitan. So tan sarvan bandhuna vastitan samiksha. Samiksha is to see, have a look. So besides the warriors mentioned in the earlier shlokas, Arjuna, he saw great grandfathers such as Bahilika, brothers-in-law such as Drushtadimna, Shikhandi, Suratha, and sisters' husbands, brother-in-laws, Jayadratha, etc. And several others of his relatives, friends, well-wishers, who were posted in different positions in both the armies. He was not looking only at Kaurava's armies, he was having a look at his own army as well. But what he saw was, on both the sides, all the kings are taking the position to fight war against each other. So Kaunteya Krupaya Paryavishta. So Kaunteya means that Arjuna was ordered by his mother Kunti to wage the war. He took the permission of Kunti. Kunti had ordered him to take revenge against the insult meted out to Draupadi and all the Kauravas who have been denying the rightful claim of Pandavas on half of the kingdom. So Kunti had ordered the war to be done by Arjuna. Now, that time he was full of valor and stout-heartedness. He entered the battlefield like a great Kshatriya to observe the chief warriors of Kaurava's army. And now he is Krupaya Paryavishto. He is overcome by the cowardice. After seeing the warriors who were related to him through family and learning on both the sides, Arjuna suddenly developed an attitude of kinship. Oh, they are my own people. Because he thought that on both the sides, there were his kinsmen and they would be killed in the war, whether they are on Pandav side or they are on Kaurav side. When they're fighting war with each other, there will be people dying from both the sides. So in this way, it was his family that would be destroyed on either side. Both are Kurus. Kauravas also Kurus, Pandavas also Kurus. So his family will get destroyed in the war. Now thinking like this, the stout-heartedness which he had when he entered the battlefield, it gave the place to cowardice. And he gave up the idea of war. This faint-heartedness has been called by Lord Krishna in second Adhyaya as well. In second Adhyaya, Lord Krishna calls it Kashmalamanam. Kashmalam. So that is the cowardice, dejection and Hrudaya Daurbalyam. In second Adhyaya, there is a word used by Lord Krishna, Hrudaya Daurbalyam. That means the weakness of heart. Arjuna also accepted that he Karpanya Dosho Pahatas Bhava. In second Adhyaya, Arjuna accepted that he has become weak. Nature is being tainted by weakness and faint-heartedness. That he accepted. Karpanya Dosho Pahatas Bhava. And Krupaya Avishta means that faint-heartedness which he had developed suddenly after seeing his kids and kin on both the sides of the army in Pandavas as well as in Kauravas. But this faint-heartedness could be a temporary phase in him, while the stout-heartedness he was originally Kshatriya, very brave person. So this stout-heartedness is a permanent virtue of his life. Thus, the temporary phase of faint-heartedness cannot last long, while this stout-heartedness will remain forever. This is what normally happens. Now, what is the extreme cowardice? Extreme cowardice in Arjuna is that he does not think and make efforts to kill his cruel and unrighteous opponents. That was the cowardice. Such as Duryodhana, Dushasana, Shakuni, etc., who without any reason, they insulted Draupadi. They insulted Pandavas on many occasions. They tried to kill Pandavas on many occasions. But not to fight war against them is extreme cowardice on the part of Arjuna. Somehow or the other, Pandavas were never given a good treatment by Kauravas. They were always insulted, always tried to be killed and all that. On the other hand, he is taking pity on them. Arjuna, instead of getting angry and taking revenge, now he is taking pity on them. And he is thus deviating from his duty. As a Kshatriya, his duty was to take up the war. But he is deviating now from his duty after he saw all the people. Vishidanni Dhamma Pravit. Arjuna is very much dejected after thinking over the consequences of the war for the family. Because everyone will get killed. That was his fear. and then he spoke these words. Now here, what we need to understand is that when the son of Kunti, that is Arjuna, he sees all the friends and relatives who are now ready to fight the war with each other, he becomes overwhelmed with the compassion, sorrowfully and wistfully, and he asks Krishna, oh, what is this happening? He was experiencing intense mental pain and anguish, Arjuna. See, the war was happening as a last resort. People tried to avoid the war, and it could not be avoided. So it was the last resort that the war was to take place. When all the attempts to make peace had failed, the Pandavas they had legitimate right and legitimate reasons to wage the war. Duryodhana was a symbol of unrighteousness, anger, extreme greed, and egoism. Arjuna knew all this very well. He had not forgotten the humiliation publicly inflicted on his wife Draupadi by the Kauravas. But despite that, standing now in the battlefield and seeing his own kith and kin ready to kill each other, he gets filled with intense grief and deep compassion. And tortured by his own emotions, he gets deeply anguished, agonized Arjuna. He spoke to Arjuna like this. He spoke to Arjuna. What he spoke? He spoke to Arjuna. We'll take in the next sloka, 28. We had taken a part of 28. Krupaya Pariwar Vishnu Vishidani Dhamma Pravit. Then he says, Društvevam Svajanam Krishna Yutsum Samupasthitam Sidanti Mama Gatrani Makhaincha Parishushyati Vepathuscha Sharire Me Romaharshascha Jayate. This is 28 and 29. Both together. So Društva, after seeing Imam, all these, Swajanam, family members, Krishna, Lord Krishna, Yutsum, having desired to fight, and Samupasthitam, present here. So Arjuna became very sad, overwhelmed with compassion, and he spoke these words. Oh dear Krishna, after seeing my friends and relatives present here with a desire to fight the war, what happens? Sidanti mama gatrani mukhainja parishushyati vepathuscha sharire me roma harshascha jayate. Sidanti. Sidanti, to get lifeless. Mama, my. Gatrani. Gatra means the limbs of the body. Hands, legs. These are the limbs of body. So these are gatrani. Mukham, mouth. Parishushyati. That means drying up. Vepathuscha. Trembling of the body, vepathuscha. Sharire, of course, body. Me, my, romaharsha. Romaharsh, the body hair, the small hair on the body, these are romaharsh. And jayate means they stand up. The small hair on the body getting standing. They get standed. When we are afraid of something, we see that the small hair, romaharsh, on body, they stand on their end. So this is romaharshascha jayate. So Arjuna says, Sidanti mavagatrani mukhainja parishushyati vepathusya sharire me romaharshascha jayate. I feel limbs of my body have become lifeless. My hands, my legs have become lifeless. And they are quivering. My mouth is going dry. Mukham parishushyati. My whole body is trembling. Vepathuscha sharire. Whole body is trembling. And my hair, body hair, are standing on the end. Romaharshascha jayate. What happens after that? Gandivam sransate hastat pakshaiva paridhyate naja shaknomyavasthatum brahmati vachame manaha. Gandhi. Gandhi was the name of bow of Arjuna. Sransate. Sransate is to slip off. Hastat, from the hands. Tvak. Tvak means skin. Dhyate. Paridhyate is burning. Na shaknomi. I am not able. Na shaknomi. I am not able. Avasthitum. To stand. Brahmati. Brahmati. That means somebody's mind which is not able to focus. Somebody keeps forgetting again and again. That is Brahmati. So he says, Arjuna says, after he says this, Sidanti mama gatrani mukhaincha parishishati vepathusya sharire me romaharsha shujayate. Further, Gandivam sranusate hastat pakshaiva paridahyate. Naja shaknomyavasthatum brahmati vachame manaha. My Gandivo, Gandiv Dhanusha, is slipping from my hands. My skin is burning. And I am not able to stand anymore. My mind is going haywire, Brahmati. I am not able to focus my mind, as if I am forgetting everything. That is Brahmati vachame mana. Brahmati vachame mana. So Drishtvayam Sujanam Krishna Yutsam Samapasitam Sidanti Mamagatrani Mukhaincha Varshishati Vepathusya Sharire me Romaharsha Shujayate Gandivam Shransate Hastat Pakshaiva Paridayate Nachashaknomyavastatum Brahmati vachame manaha. See, Arjuna, he loved the name Krishna very much. So he has been addressed by his name in Gita so many times, more than any other names. Lord Krishna, similarly, you loved Arjuna's name Partha. Therefore, while talking to each other, or talking together, both of them, they address each other by these names, Krishna and Partha, Krishna Partha, Krishna Partha. And this fact is well known to other people as well. Therefore, Sanjaya, at the end of 18th Adhyay, 78th sloka of Bhagavad Gita of 18th Adhyay, he mentions Krishna and Partha. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha. 18th Adhyay, last sloka. So wherever there is Krishna, wherever there is Partha. So this is the very popular names of Lord Krishna and Partha, who were calling each other with those names. Now Dhritarashtra, in the first shloka, what we see, he uses the phrase Samaveta Yutsavaha, coming together with a desire to fight the war. Arjuna here has said Yutsum Samupasthitam. That means they are arranged here to fight. But there is a vast difference between what Dhritarashtra said and what Arjuna is saying now. Dhritarashtra is partial to his sons. So he uses the words Mamaka, my sons, Mamaka, and Pandava, Pandu's sons. But Arjuna is impartial. He doesn't say my brothers and Kauravas. He doesn't say this. He uses the terms Swajanam. So there is a difference in the psyche of both Arjuna and Dhritarashtra. He says Swajanam. They are also my people. They are studying opposite me, fine, but they are also my people. Swajanam. This shows the purity of the heart of Arjuna and the bad thinking of Dhritarashtra, who always differentiated between his sons and Kauravas, Mamaka and Pandava. Here, Arjuna is saying Swajanam. So this is the difference between both. It means that Dhritarashtra was more worried about the death of warriors, his own people, that means Kauravas. While Arjuna is worried about the death of warriors in both the armies, not only Pandavas, but both the armies. Because he thinks that both the warrior groups are his own kith and kin. Swajanam. Both are Swajanam. Till now, Drishtva. Drishtva word also has been used many times. Here also there is a difference between what Dhritarashtra used and what is used by Arjuna. And Sidanti mama gatrani mukhaincha parishishati vepathusya sharire me romaharsha jayate gandivam srasate hastat pakshaiva paridayate nachashaknomyavasthatum brahmati vachame manaha. Now thinking of the consequences of war, Arjuna is worried and sad. So his limbs are giving away. His limbs are becoming lifeless. His mouth is getting dry. His body shakes. His body hair are standing on the end. Roma harsha shajayate. The same Gandhi bow, the sound of whose string terrified the enemies. Arjuna was very, very brave. He defeated so many enemies in the past. And looking at his Gandhi Dhanusha, people used to run away from the battlefield. That was his reputation as a brave warrior. And now this same Gandiva is dropping from his hands. His skin is burning all over. His mind is confused. He is in real dilemma. And he is unable even to stand on the war front. Not able to stand. He feels as if he will fall unconscious now. And thinks it is a scene to wage the war. So this is the this is sort of the mental condition of Arjuna. Arjuna, he says, Lord Krishna, on seeing my friends and relatives present here before me, ready to fight with each other and kill each other, my limbs are trembling, my mouth is running dry, my entire body is feeling limp, and my hair is standing on the end. So this is Arjuna Vishada Yoga, and this is the beginning of Vishada of Arjuna. Arjuna is very clearly describing his physical and mental state. On seeing all his loved ones, his childhood friends, those beloved elders in whose comforting lap he had grown up, those esteemed teachers who had taught him all that he knew, those he had loved and played with, seeing all his endearing friends and family, a strange kind of fear, it gripped Arjuna. What terrible times I have to face. He was about to wage a war against those very individuals he loved and cared for. Arjuna was indeed intensely sad, distressed. See, there is one war that was being fought by Arjuna, but then there is another war. The one that you fight in the battlefield of your daily life. We all fight our war in our daily life. Our own Kurukshetra. Our life is our own Kurukshetra. We don't call it Dharma Kshetra because we don't know whether we follow Dharma or not, but it is definitely a Kurukshetra. Dharma Kshetra is Kurukshetra, but our Kshetra maybe not Dharma Kshetra, but at least it's a Kurukshetra. Now we are bound by our own attachments and we face constant dilemma as to what to do, how to follow the path of truth when you know that it will hurt your near ones and dear ones. If you speak the truth, your near ones and dear ones may get hurt. So how to talk, how to take decision in such cases? And when those close to you, they feel hurt, they tend to create conflict. Be it your children, your parents, your brothers, your friends, your colleagues in the office, anyone. We are all modern day Arjunas. We face so many situations in our life when our beloved ones, they oppose us. Every individual thinks he is right and the other is wrong. Duryodhana had no doubt that he was right. Even Duryodhana thought that he was right. That is why he was so determined to fight against Pandavas. He justified his demand. What was his justification? By saying that his father Dhritarashtra was the eldest son and hence the rightful heir to the throne of Hastinapur. But he was deprived of his right because he was blind, and the throne was instead given to Pandu, who was able-bodied person, okay, and second in the line, he was younger. Duryodhana's argument was that it was not his father's fault that he was born blind. Hence, if one sees situation from Duryodhana's point of view, he was fighting for his father's rights. That was his justification. Duryodhana felt that it was only fair that he, being the eldest son of Dhritarashtra, was the legitimate heir to the throne. It was customary that the eldest son would succeed to the throne. Anywhere it is the tradition. And the younger son could only support him, the elder brother. But he could not aspire to be the successor. But here what happened? The one who was supposed to be successor, Pandu, he was given the throne and Dhritarashtra was sidelined. So eldest brother was regarded that time also and today also, as father figure, and he was revered such as a father. Dhritarashtra, being the eldest son, he should have been given the throne, but he was deprived by none other than Pitama Bhishma, who took all decisions in Kauravas and Pandavas affairs. Hence, Duryodhana was resentful of Bhishma and he could not accept or approve his decision. Further, Duryodhana's argument was that after the death of Pandu, Bhishma had seated Dhritarashtra on the throne and the latter had ran the kingdom without any problems, Dhritarashtra. So it was Dhritarashtra who could run the kingdom well after the death of Pandu. Then why he would not have done the same when Pandu was not dead? When Pandu was alive, Dhritarashtra could have as well run the kingdom very well as he did after Pandu's death. So why was not he given the rightful place in the beginning itself? So in a way, Duryodhana had a valid reason in saying that his father had suffered injustice at the hands of Bhishma. He believed that if he would not avenge the wrong done to his blind, old father, who else would do? I am his eldest son, and if I will not avenge the disrespect, the insult meted out to my father, who is poorly blind, who would do it? So this was the justification from Duryodhana's side for fighting against Pandavas. Some people straight away sympathize with Pandavas. We also do. But if we see from Duryodhana's point of view, this justification was not entirely incorrect. It was not entirely incorrect. What went wrong was Duryodhana's aggressively ambitious attitude and towering ego, which misguided him, and eventually it led to his downfall. Everything could have been settled through conciliation, but he did not follow that path. He wanted to fight. He wanted to fight. See, there is a very thin line between what is right and what is wrong. What may appear right to me may appear wrong to you, or what is right, you may think right, I may think it is wrong. It is very difficult to say who is absolutely right and who is absolutely wrong. Absolute word is important. So how to make a statement that this is absolutely right or this is absolutely wrong? There is always something between absolutely right and absolutely wrong. It is all relative and it depends on the context. Duryodhana was angry because Pandavas, they had snatched his father's right. So how could they be righteous? They are not on the right side. I am on the right side. That was his conviction. This was his argument. It was not Dhritarashtra's fault that he was born blind. Now this story could go on and on, but the point here is, we could go into the story again, which we discussed in the last session at the end during question answer session about the birth of Bhishmacharya and the birth of Dhritarashtra and Pandu, all that story what we discussed in the last session. But let's not go too much into details of that. Here the point is only that there is nothing absolutely right and absolutely wrong. Both sides have a story to tell to justify their actions. Here we have been all hearing this side from Pandava's side, that they were sent to Vanvasa and 1 year in that incognito place, and when they came back they were denied half of the kingdom. Duryodhana's point was, why the kingdom was to be shared half when Dhritarashtra is alive? He is the king. He is the king whole and soul. So why do you divide the kingdom? Not necessary. So that was his argument. Okay, let's proceed further to shlok number 31. Nimittani japashyami viparitani keshava naja shreyo nupashyami atva swajanamahave. We'll take all these shlokas together now. Na kankshe vijayam krishna na cha rajyam sukhani cha kinno rajyena govinda kim bhogair jivite nama yeshamarthe kankshitanno rajyam bhoga sukhani cha. त इमेव स्थिता युद्धे प्राणांस् त्यक्त्वा धनानि च आचार्याः पितरः पुत्रास् तथैव च पितामहाः मातुलाः श्वशुराः पौत्राः श्यालाः सम्बन्धिनस्तथा एतान् हन्तुमिच्छामि घ्नतोऽपि मधुसूदन अपि त्रैलोक्यराज्यस्य एतः किन्नु मही कृते निहत्य धार्तराष्ट्रान्नः का प्रीतिः स्यात् जनार्दन पापमेवाश्रयेदस्मान् हत्वै ताना ततायिनः. This all these slokas are related. So I just read it once, but then you can go into श्लोक by श्लोक. निमित्तानि च पश्यामि विपरीतानि केशव यजश्रेयोन् पश्यामि अथवा स्वजनमाहवे. निमित्तानि, these are all the symbols, causes. Pashyami, I am seeing. Viparitani, just the opposite. Then what it should be? Keshava. Keshava is the killer of a demon called Keshi. So that was the name of Lord Krishna, Keshava. Shreya, good. Anupashyami. Do I see it right? Do I foresee correct? Hatva. Hatva is to kill. Swajanam, my own people, my relatives, my friends, my own people. Ahave, in the fight. So nimittani cha pashyami viparitani keshava nijashreyo pashyami hatva swajanam ahave. Arjuna says, I see these symptoms. Which symptoms? Vyaputusha sharire me romharsha jayate, and before that sidantima magatrani mukhainja varishishati. Normally, a kshatriya, when he is ready to take the war, take on the enemy, he should be charged with a lot of courage. And he should be eager to start the battle as quickly as possible. That is the anxiety that normally is there in the mind of a kshatriya. But here, the opposite has happened. The kshatriya, the Gandiva slipped from his hands, his body started trembling, he was not able to stand also, his mind went haywire. So Arjuna says, this is all viparitani. This is all opposite than what it should have really happened. Normal situation, I should have been charged to take up the enemy, to take on the enemy. But here, opposite is happening. I don't see anything good is going to happen, because these indications before starting of the war are all negative indications. Viparitani. These are all opposite of what should have really happened. So definitely, this is an indication that nothing good is going to happen by killing my own people in this battle. Nimittani cha pashyami viparitani keshava najashreyo pashyami atva swajanamahave. Then further, na kankshe vijayam krishna na cha rajyam sukhani cha kinno rajyena govinda kim bhogair jivitena va. Na kankshe. No, nor kankshe. Kanksha means desire. Vijayam. Vijayam is of course victory. Rajyam. Rajya, kingdom. Sukhani, happiness. Kim. Kim. What is the use? Kim is what? What is the use? Rajyena, from the kingdom. Govinda. Govinda is of course calling for Arjuna, Lord Krishna. Kim, again, what? Bhogai. Bhogai means to bhogna, that means to enjoy. Jivitena. Jivitena is living. So Arjuna says, na kanksha vijayam krishna, na cha rajyam sukhani cha, kinno rajyena govinda, kim bhogair jivitena va. I don't see desire for victory. I have no desire for victory. Na kanksha vijayam. I don't have desire for victory. Nor do I have desire for kingdom. Na cha rajyam. Nor do I have the desire for any happiness that will arrive out of this war. So what is the use of this kingdom then? Govinda, what is the use of this enjoyment and even the life after this war? Will there be a meaning to the life after this war when all are getting killed? Will there be any place for enjoyment when all are getting killed? So Arjuna says, I don't see, I don't want victory, I don't want kingdom, I don't want any happiness. What is the use? When everybody is getting killed, what will I enjoy? त इमेव स्थिता युद्धे प्राणान् त्यक्त्वा धनानि च आचार्याः पितरः पुत्रास्तथैव च पितामहाः. All that he says. Now येषाम् अर्थे काङ्क्षितं नो राज्यं भोगा सुखानि च त इमेव स्थिता युद्धे प्राणान् त्यक्त्वा धनानि च. They means all of them. Ime, all these. Avasthita. Avasthita, who are all present here, standing in front of me. Yuddhe. Yuddhe is battlefield. Pranan, of the lives. Tyaktva. Tyaktva is to relinquish, to give up. Dhanani. Dhanani is the dhan, riches. Yesham, of them. Arthe, for the sake of. Kangshitam. Kangshitam, we saw this word. Desire. Rajyam, kingdom, bhoga, enjoyment, sukhanija, happiness. So yesham arthe kangshitam no rajyam, bhoga, sukhanija, ta ime avastha yuddhe pranan त्यक्त्वा dhanani cha. When for all those for whom we desire to have the kingdom, we want to have the enjoyment, and we want to have the happiness in life, they are all standing here in front of us, ready to kill each other. So these are the very own people. These are the very people for whom we want kingdom, we want to have enjoyment, we want to have happiness, for all these people. And they are standing in front of us with a desire to kill each other. And for whom we are doing all this? And they are prepared to relinquish whatever they have earned so far, their riches, dhanani. They want to relinquish all that they have earned so far in the life. Not only that, they want to relinquish their lives as well. Pranan tyaktva dhanani cha. They want to give up their life. So Arjuna says, Yesham arthe kangshitam no rajyam bhoga sukhani cha taime vasda yuddhe pranas tyaktva dhanani cha. For whom we want this enjoyment, this kingdom, this happiness, they are all ready here to kill each other. Then what for we are doing all this? Further he says, Slok 34, Acharyah pitarah putras tathaiva cha pitamahaha matula shvashurah pautra shyala sambandhinas tatha. We'll read 35th also along with it. Both are connected. Etan hantamichhami gnatopi madhusudana api trailokya rajyasya hetoh kinnumahi krite. And 36th also. Nihatya dharda rashtrannah ka pritisya janardana papameva shraye dasman hatvai tana tatainaha. So, Acharya pitra putra sadhaiva ja pitamahaha matula shvashra pautra shyala sambandhinas tatha. Acharya, teachers, pitar, father-like figures, putra, sons, tatha, as well as, and eva, others, certainly, cha, also, pitamaha, grandfathers, matula, maternal uncle, shvashura, fathers-in-law, pautra, grandsons, shyala, shyala is what we say in Hindi, sala. So sala and shala is same, brother-in-law. Sambandhin, all relatives. Tatha means and. So Arjuna says, when teachers, acharya, pitara, fathers, sons, as well as grandfathers, maternal uncles, fathers-in-law, grandsons, brothers-in-law, and other relatives. Half of the meaning is in next loka. Etan hantamichhami gnatopi madhusudana api trailokya rajyasya hetoh kinnumahi krite. Etan, all this. Who all this? Acharya pitra putra sadhaiva cha pitamahaha matula shvashra pautra shyala sambandhinas tatha. All this. Hantum, to kill. Hantum is to kill. No, never. Ichhami. Ichhami is to I wish. Gnata. Gnata means being killed. Api. Even if. Trailokya. Swarga, Prithvi, Patal. This is Trailokya. All the three worlds. Rajyasya. The kingdom. Heto. Heto means exchange. In exchange of. Kim. Why? Mahi krute. For the earth. Mahi is Prithvi. So Mahi krute for